Hey everyone, it's Sarah with RegisteredNurseRN.com, and in this video I'm going to go over how to juggle multiple classes in nursing school. This is one of the things that makes nursing school complicated because you have a lot of things going on at once that you must juggle and stay organized so you can get it done and ace those classes. A lot of nursing schools are set up where either you'll take a couple classes for 6 weeks and then switch and take another set of classes, or you'll go for 4 months and take like 4 to 5, maybe 6 classes along with clinicals. So it can be tedious and it can be hard juggling those together. So in this video, I want you to learn how I juggled classes, and I'm going to show you a real case scenario of what I've had with all these classes together and show you how exams work, show you the clinical days, and show you how I started preparing for those, and give you some ideas on how to strategize a plan that you can use to help juggle your classes. So first, let's talk about this. These are 2 questions that you need to ask yourself before you learn how to juggle classes, because you can have the best strategy in place, but if you don't know how to do these 2 things, it's going to make juggling classes hard. The first question is, how organized are you? Ask yourself, am I an organized person? Do I need to work on my organization skills? We have a whole video that we've done about organization, how to stay organized. We cover everything from using planners to folders, give you tips and tricks on how to do that. So be sure to check out that video. The link should be in the description below. Number 2, do I really know how to study properly? This is so important because whenever you're juggling classes, you can have the best plan in place. You've scheduled, you're going to study 2 hours this subject, 2 hours that subject, but if you don't really truly know how to look at that material, read that material, and study it, then you're wasting your time. So be sure to check out all of our study series, because we're making a whole series on how to study in nursing school that can help you. And also, I covered in the other video of what type of learner you are. Be sure to watch that because it's so important you know if you are an auditory, visual, a tactile, or a read-write learner, because that can help you with your study strategies, because these people learn differently compared to each other. So be sure to watch that video, and that link should be in the description below. Okay, so I'm going to go over the steps on how you can juggle and then give you a case scenario that we'll go over together. Okay, very first thing you want to do is you want to get a planner. This can be any type of planner you want. There's no set sewn planner. You can do a digital one, you can do a big calendar one, you can do a little handheld one where you write anything in, anything that you can keep track of dates and times, and you can look at this planner and plan ahead a couple weeks in advance. Because in nursing school, what happens is that you're going to have a week where you're going to have 2 exams, a quiz, clinicals, and a project due, like a care plan. And you're going to have to be planning 2 weeks ahead of time to get all that done. And that's how you'll be setting that up, and a planner will help you keep track of this. Now, whenever I first started nursing school, I wasn't a big fan of getting a planner. I've seen other people have planners, and I'm like, I don't need a planner. I've never used one. I don't know why it would help. Well, I came to a time where I started having difficulty. Things started just sneaking up on me, exams. I figured out I have an exam in like 2 days. And so I was like, I'm going to do a planner. So I got a planner, I set it up, and literally I could not have made it through nursing school without it. So if you don't really like planners, just give them a try and see how it works for you. And you'll probably find that you like it and it helps you keep everything on track. Next, another mistake whenever you're trying to juggle classes is don't make the mistake of trying to cram. It's a lot easier to schedule in through your planner that you're going to study 2 hours this day for this exam, 2 hours this day, instead of trying to study like 2 days before the exam and cram all that material in. Because in the long run, you're actually hurting yourself, because when finals come up, which are usually comprehensive, you're going to have a lot on you, and because you didn't study that material properly at the beginning, it's going to be like learning it all over again. So try to avoid cramming. Next, prioritize your classes, and this will help whenever you're setting up your planner. Usually after the first exam in your classes, you're going to know which classes are going to require a lot of studying and which classes are going to require not that much studying. You're going to be sorting them out by easiest to hardest. So prioritize which classes are going to need your most attention. Now let's look at a real scenario. What's going to be popping up here in a second is a calendar, and in the calendar it's going to be about 3 weeks worth, and you're going to see during this time the classes that are being taken are nursing fundamentals, pathophysiology, pharmacology, clinicals at a med-surg hospital, and nursing theory and research. And I'm going to break down for you how it's set up. For example, 1 week you're going to see all these exams, and I'm going to show you how to prepare 2 weeks in advance to be ready for that super busy week that you're having. So let me show you that. Okay, here is a typical planner, and notice I have it color-coded so you can follow along with me. The first week is 1 through 7, Monday through Wednesday, and then you have red, which is the 8th through the 14th, and then you have black, the 15th through the 21st. And like how I've stressed in the video, you need to be planning 2 weeks ahead. So let's look at the black section. It's the 15th through the 21st. Notice that I've put in the time that we have class, and NF means nursing fundamentals, and then the 16th, you have a clinical day. On the 17th, you have class from 8 to 12 in patho. The 18th, 8 to 12 in pharm, and then theory and research, 8 to 12. And down below is when projects, exam, and quizzes are due. So we have an exam on the 15th and the 17th, a quiz on the 18th, a care plan due on the 19th. So that is a very busy week. So right now is the first, which we're going to go up in the purple. And notice how I have laid everything out to start preparing for this week, because really all you're doing these first 2 weeks, the week of the 1st and the week of the 8th, you're just going to class. So you need to be using that time to be preparing for that super busy week you got coming up. So let's just go through that first week. On the 1st, we're going to go to class from 8 to 12 for nursing fundamentals. Then after class, we're going to get home and we're going to study for 2 hours. We're going to develop a basic outline for nursing fundamentals because we have an exam coming up in 2 weeks. On the 2nd, we're going to go to clinicals from 6 to 3, and then after we get home from clinicals, we're going to start working on our care plan, which will be due in almost 2 weeks. And patho, and then on the 3rd, we're going to go to class from 8 to 12 in patho, and we're going to start studying for at least 2 hours for our patho exam coming up in 2 weeks from them, which will be on the 17th. And the reason that you want to space out your studying time, because notice, whenever we had nursing fundamentals class, we want to study for nursing fundamentals, because like we've stressed in the videos, you want to go home and study that material that you learned in the same day, because you'll forget 70 to 80% of that material. And then on the 4th, we're going to go to class from 8 to 12 in pharmacology, and we're going to come home and we're going to study for nursing fundamentals. Nursing fundamentals is taking the priority a little bit over patho because it's the first exam coming up. And then on the 5th, we're going to go to theory class, nursing theory and research, and we're going to come home after class and study for 2 hours for patho. So we're interchanging those days. Some people like to only study one class in one day and not split it up, but you can do it however you want it. If you find studying 2 different classes in a day helps you, then do that. But I like to do it either way. And then the next day, which is Saturday, we're going to work on our care plan, and then we're splitting the day up for 2 hours. We're going to study for patho, and then 2 hours nursing fundamentals. And then Sunday, taking the whole day off. I always recommend you have one day that you completely take off, because it's just going to help you and prevent burnout. Now that next week, you can look through that and pause the video and just see how I've set that up. And notice there isn't a day to take off that day, because I think it's whenever you have a busy week coming up, like the 15th through the 20th, it's good to utilize every single moment you have and always study the day before the test. So that gives you just a little bit of an example of how to plan everything out. You want to utilize literally every hour wisely. You need to put how many hours you're going to study, how you're going to work on everything so you can be prepared. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope those tips helped you, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel.